Good evening and welcome to St. Louis Park, Minnesota for stop number 10 of the NextGen Tour. I'm Mario O'Brien and I'm here with David Becky Beckett joining us in the booth for this showdown between NextGen and Subzero. Zero coming off a year where they were trying to build momentum with a young squad, and they've got a lot of them back this year, Becky.
Yeah, Subzero has the majority of their roster returning from last year, I would say. Definitely a young squad last year, but a lot of experience with those young faces, mostly in the college scene, but all pretty experienced in the Elite Open division. So the majority of the core coming back. There are a handful of new faces as well. So still a fairly young team. Most of them have graduated. Only about 5 or 6 players are still in college. But the majority of the graduates are only a couple years out of college. So look for the more experienced guys like number 93, Kyle Gill, to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the team. It's just kind of an all-around stud on offense and pretty much everywhere on the field. So watch for him. Number 1, Tom Murray, Madison alumni. So those are the two of the main guys you want to look out for here in this O-line.
Subzero draws a lot from a lot of the surrounding college areas. You mentioned Madison, Minnesota, as well as Carleton.
True, yes. There are, I believe there's 6 Hodags, or ex-Hodags on the team, and there's 8 cut players from Carleton, 3 from Minnesota are graduates, and 4 Luther also. So you can tell that the majority of the team is based and pulled from these national college teams from the North Central region here. And a lot of them are young, but there's also a lot of experience as well. But I would look for the new additions from Carleton this year to make a big impact during the regular season. Huge names like Simon Montague, who is obviously playing for NextGen, will be a very big pickup for Subzero this year.
So the bus will pull. This will be Freechild and a D-line of Neal, Morrissey, Driscoll, Erickson, Scion, and Clark. This will be Cheetah bringing down the pole to Klein. Vert stack, Subzero breaking quickly to O'Brien. This is Gill. Back to Klein. Lots of early disc movement here from Subzero. Nice around throw from Cheetah. Back to Klein. The Minnesota teammates connecting. Break throw from O'Brien. Zero moves into their end zone set. Cheetah at the top of the key. It's like a pick somewhere in the stack. Nice movement here from Zero early. Moving it early and often in that count. Cheetah marked by Freechild. Erickson shuts down the dump, and Jay Clark is going to pick up a D in the front side of the end zone. Nice goal line stand here from the bus, and now Clark is going to swing to Morrissey. Freechild in the lane against Cheetah.
Are both teams here running a vertical stack? Is that what the bus normally runs, or do you know what?
Yeah, the bus is going to run vert stack. Mostly you're going to see some set plays out of horizontal and maybe some side stack, but mostly you're going to see vert stack. This is Freechild, Driscoll in the area, but defended well by Zero, and Kyle Gill cleans up the trash and brings it back to the line. Flips one up to Klein. Klein's got O'Brien running deep. This will be O'Brien against Morrissey, and this is a beautiful throw by Josh Klein, a dime, 65 yards, completes it to the veteran, Sam O'Brien.
Yeah, that was a fantastic throw to space. I mean, the weather right now is perfect for throwing. It's very, very slight breeze, barely nothing at all. He just threw that one right on the money there. Josh has been playing all summer as well for the AUDL team, the Minnesota Windchill. He's a starter on their O-line as well. That was just a fantastic throw. Kind of tough to guard that. And Sam O'Brien, the veteran, showing he's still got some gas left in the tank there. And that defense there, that D was number 88 from Pat Jensen, Paco, out of Winona State. He is known for his defense and his big plays in the air, so kind of showing that early.
So the O-line, after grinding 70 yards, turns it over in their end zone, gets it back, and then Klein bombs to O'Brien for a 1-0 lead. This is Feldman waiting to pull. Far side of your screen, that's Harper Garvey, young player for Subzero.
Going to Knox College, I believe. He just had his first year there, was freshman of the year for the Great Lakes region out of that small school.
So now the bus isolating Mickle in the lane, and Mickle's going to take yards underneath and swing wide to Allison Hall, but misfires on the throw, and Subzero will have their first chance at a break. Montague trapping on the sideline, going deep for Feldman. Jacob Janin elevates, providing pressure, and Feldman can't come up with it. Great pressure from Janin.
Yep, that one just floated a little too much there from Meeson. Looked like the handlers were both well guarded there. So the 2 turnovers we've seen from Subzero have been a result of good handler defense by NextGen so far.
That's something that this NextGen team really does well. As Dillon fires one deep to Mickle, Dillon drops a dime on Jimmy Mickle, and back-to-back big hucks lead to our first 2 goals here tonight, 1-1.
Wow, that was a fantastic throw from Dillon. I didn't know he was much of a thrower. I've only seen him play a few times, never in person. Mostly just what I've seen from video, and I've just kind of known him to be kind of a shutdown defender for Pitt. That was a pretty fantastic break throw, it looked like there. For was that Mickle who scored? That was a great throw.
Yeah, Trent Dillon, you could say maybe a bit overshadowed at Pitt by their bigger name players, that being the likes of Alex Thorne and Tyler DiGirolamo, but certainly a bright future ahead for Pittsburgh with Dillon. Just finished up his sophomore campaign, and he is determined not just to be a great player, but talking to him over the course of the tour, he's determined to leave his mark as a leader. And it's really been interesting to watch his relationship develop with the NextGen team, and I think that he's the guy that you're going to see big things from, not only as a player, but you know, he wants to continue to build that Pittsburgh program and leave his mark on Ultimate. Yeah,
I mean, he's got some big shoes to fill, that's for sure, with Thorne and DiGirolamo both leaving. But starting out your college career 2 for 2 in national titles, it's not a bad way to start.
So another vert stack, and we see that break throw to the front of the stack to O'Brien again. Now back to Klein. 3 handler set from 0 in a vert stack. And now Gill's going to fire one deep. Scion's got the inside position, and nice positioning by Scion. Has the offensive player going up a bit early and not quite able to read that one.
Yeah, that was Dan Dill McAdam there going up a little bit early. He's a Luther alumni. Was all-region in 2008 for a team that was kind of overlooked a little bit back in the day.
Now Clark catching underneath. He's going to rip one deep to Driscoll. The bus opening it up early, and this one's going to be just out of the reach of Driscoll.
We're seeing a lot of hucks here early on. I mean, you can't argue that. The weather is pretty perfect for throwing, so it'll make it exciting for the fans here to watch.
And the bus talked a little bit after their last game about opening it up a little bit more with the throws. A little bit too handler dominated in Madison. Had them wishing they would have put it up deep to their big players. This is Tom Murray, captain of Subzero. He's going to flip it to Sam O'Brien. Middle of the field, marked by Erickson. Cutter's a bit too deep for O'Brien right now. Sure he'll be reeling him in. Nice set of break throws here so far from 0 tonight. Klein, O'Brien, very involved. This is Murray. Dumps to Cheetah. Cheetah finds space underneath. Another break throw to Gill. Now McAdam in the middle of the field. Very patient offense here from Subzero. Now Klein. And Klein miscommunicates a bit with Gill and misses. Another turnover for Subzero, and now Freechild's got it going the other way.
This is going to be a fun matchup here to watch with Pat Jensen and Will Driscoll there. 2 big guys who are going to be battling in the air all night long, it seems like. But unfortunate turnover.
So Subzero turns it over. The bus will have a chance at a break, and we'll be back after this commercial. And we're back in St. Louis Park, Minnesota, 1-1. This will be NextGen, Will Driscoll looking at a vert stack, and the bus trying to get their first break of the game. Freechild running deep, and Driscoll, not known for his hucking ability, but he's going to send a beautiful throw to Dylan Freechild. And Driscoll unleashes his best huck of the tour. Freechild walks it in.
I mean, that just showcased Freechild's pretty ridiculous speed right there. He was guarded by Jason Cheetah, U of M, Grey Duck alumni. And Jason Cheetah is not a slow man at all. He's very quick and fast, and Freechild just left him in the dust there. That was rather impressive by the Callahan winner. Of course, another perfect throw. Can't really play defense on those perfect throws like that. Not much you can do.
So the set play works for the bus to give them their first break. Beautiful throw by Driscoll.
You'll see Phil Bowen out there, who is helping coach. It's a loose term for Subzero this year. He is also the coach for Carlton, cut right there. So it's that's Phil there, number -14 in the black on the sideline. He's going to be calling some O-lines for Subzero tonight.
So Mickle goes big on an inside-out backhand pull. Zero lets it hit. This will be Montague marking Klain. Cheetah. Cheetah trying to reset, finds Klain, and Klain will swing. Back to O'Brien. O'Brien, the quick flip to Gill. Kyle Gill throws underneath, and Elliot Erickson is there to make the block. But this one might be coming back.
And that's Andrew Moore there. He's a rookie on Subzero this year out of Iowa State. One of the first, I believe, is the first Iowa State player we've seen on the Subzero roster ever.
So as Erickson and Moore talk it over, looks like the observers are going to get involved here. And no foul is the ruling on the field. So Erickson comes up with a huge block early, despite some really great offensive flow from Subzero. Twice we've seen them go the length of the field with that dump swing offense, and it just hasn't paid off quite yet. Now Montague's going to rip deep immediately, and this one's going to drift and stay out of bounds. O'Brien decides the best thing is to just go out of bounds and D it. Didn't want to give it a chance for a greatest attempt by Mickle, and O'Brien will take it on the cone.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that Montague wanted that one. Big mismatch there. You see Mickle is quite a bit larger than Sam O'Brien.
So a mismatch one way might lead to a mismatch on the other end for Samo. Samo's really quick, and this will be Tom Murray ripping one deep. And Moore tried to come from the backside, but Erickson reels in his second block of the point. Now Montague underneath to Mickle. Mickle had Dylan cutting deep, looked him off. Trent Dillon right now absolutely running his defender ragged as Trent Dillon comes across the front. His man trailing. Might not be a bad idea as Jannon swims up line and finds Erickson. Erickson's got Eli Kearns in the end zone. Nice continuation offense from the bus.
Yeah,
3-1.
As Subzero, we've seen here on a couple O points, they've definitely worked it down nicely with their O. Had some nice flow. They're working the break side. And, you know, just they can't just continue it throughout the whole point. It seems like they're making these little mistakes at the end. I don't know if they're, you know, it's early season legs. But you know, have sparks of, you know, they're showing signs of nice movement. But overall, they're not getting the job done here, I know.
Really not a lot of action going on the open side downfield for Zero, and that's really where the game can be won and lost, especially against a team like NextGen. If your cutters can't go continue, 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 that means you're relying on your handlers to break the mark, and you're relying on your handlers really to generate the offense. And that's actually been a problem that we've seen for NextGen on the tour. But here they were able to string together those passes and get a goal for Kearns.
Yeah, and like I had mentioned earlier, NextGen is playing some very good handler dump defense. It looks like the Zero handlers are waiting to initiate until their receiver looks at them for the dump, but it's coming a little late in the stall count, it seems like, as well. So they're kind of getting shut down in the backfield.
So another big pull. And a layout block on the end zone by Tim Morrissey is going to give the Bus another shot at the break. Free child to pick up, really dangerous in this position, working with Morrissey. Dumps with Clark, and Clark was throwing a bit too quickly and turned it over. Now Cheetah going the other way.
It was a gift right back there. It's unfortunate.
Gill swings to Aronson. Will Driscoll getting big in the end zone. No goal for Feldman.
Yeah, and that was Danny Meeson there, actually, one of Greg Aronson's teammates from the U of M. He's an alumni as well. It was all region back a year or two ago. He's been on Zero now for pretty much his whole college career, and now so probably about 5 or 6 years. Still a young guy, but played on the elite level for quite a while now. He's a very solid handler all around. Doesn't turn the disc over very much.
Allison Hall comes out of the stack, marked by Garvey. Now Freechild, lots of space to swing. Hahn. Clark's got Allison Hall streaking deep. Nice poach in the lane. Neal takes advantage, slices an IO to Driscoll, and Driscoll's gonna throw his second assist of the game. Driscoll all over the place here tonight. 4-1, the Bus is rolling.
Yeah, this is kind of similar to the past 2 years against NextGen with Subzero. We see a replay here, nice IO flick downfield to Driscoll there with a nice backhand, and Harper didn't stand a chance there. When you've got that much space one-on-one, it's pretty impossible to defend near the end zone like that. But nice defense off the turn there from NextGen. This is very similar to all the past Subzero games versus NextGen as well so far.
So Zero down a few breaks here in the first half. And if I know Tom Murray and Samo in that huddle, they're talking about focusing just on the next point here. They're down a few goals, but they know it's early in the season. They know that this game is probably all about growth. Of course, they want to be competitive, but they're talking about just staying focused. They're doing a lot of things right. It seems that whenever they put a disc into the end zone, it's incomplete. But they really are getting some good dump swing offense. And if Tom Murray and Sam O'Brien are doing their job right there, they're focusing on the positive, just letting everyone relax, come out and try to score a goal.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some good things from Subzero, just not completing it all the way throughout the whole point. And like you said, this is still very, very early on in the season for them. They haven't attended a tournament yet, so only had their roster set for a couple weeks now. But you take the good things out of that, and of course they're missing a handful of their, some other stars as well, with Julian Childs Walker not here right now, coming off of his nice season with Carleton, was first team all-region again this year. And then, of course, Simon playing with NextGen. So a couple Carleton fellas who are missing tonight. But hopefully Zero can open up the rosters a little bit. So far, we've seen pretty much the same consistent O-line for Zero, already 5 points into the game here.
This will be Garvey receiving the pull, centering to Klain. Garvey just finished, as you said, his freshman year of college. Klain finds Murray underneath. Back to Klain. Now Garvey. Murray moved over to the open side. It's going to hit Garvey up line. Garvey is a threat from anywhere on the field. Here he's going to blade one over the top. And a nice grab from Aronson on the doorstep, and he's gonna flip it cross field. So Garvey with the big blow. Aronson, nice play in the air. Gets the O-line 4-0 back on track.
Yep, that was a goal there. Number 88, Pat Paco Jensen. This is his second year on Subzero. He was Winona State alum a couple of years ago, was first team All-Region. He's known around the North Central area. He's a great player. He's played on Climax, another men's team out of Minneapolis, for the past few years, but last year and then this year decided to make the trade up to Zero, which he could have probably done at any point in the past few years, but decided to kind of stick with his friends for the most part. But nice player, nice play there, nice throw by Harper Garvey. Kind of seeing a lot of those hucks that are blading to the break side. Just makes it that much more difficult for the defender to close that gap there, and you can see that there with that throw. Dylan was pretty much neck and neck with Aronson the whole time, but that little blade to the break side gave Aronson that advantage, and a nice read by him and a nice grab.
So Garvey connects deep. Garvey was a member of the Junior Worlds team that brought home gold last year for the U19 team. And his teammate is actually on the line right now. That's Aaron Hahn. Aaron Hahn was the captain of that U19 Worlds team that brought home gold in Ireland. So the youth shining here tonight. Offsides by Subzero. Rules we're playing with means that the first offsides violation is just a warning. The second one will be, will allow NextGen to take the disc at half field. So a big bladey backhand to the hands of Mickle. And Montague looks at the stack. Mickle made a cut deep, but then came back under. Now Freechild isolated underneath. He's going to drag his foot and stay in bounds. Nice footwork by Freechild. Nice trap mark here by Zero, but Freechild breaks it easily, and now they're running up the other side. Another big swing, Montague to Clark. And Montague takes a big loss, and back to Clark. Clark over the top to Montague. Montague's going to go cross field with his pants down and complete to Hahn, and Allison Hall gets a goal. Montague cannot be distracted.
Wow, that wasn't even like an outside-in forehand. That was basically a straight-up blade. It kind of started like a forehand, but basically just came straight down. Nice grab there. You can see there, basically a straight-up blade. Hahn decides not to catch it one-handed, though. You can see guarding Simon on that point there is his old college teammate, Logan Weiss, known for his kind of feisty defense there on the handler, so I'm sure those two are going to have fun tonight playing against each other.
So Driscoll steps to the D-line now. Haven't seen a Will Driscoll pull all that often on tour. But his throws have been on early. Standing next to Trent Dillon and Mitch Sion. Driscoll's going to rip a big inside-out backhand. This one drifting. Don't know if it's going to come back in.
So for the Zero O-line here, it looks like we've got Andrew Moore in the back of the stack, Pat Jensen, Dan Dill, McAdam, Tom Murray, Sam O'Brien, Jason Cheetah, and Josh Klain handling. Those two handled together this past year for University of Minnesota Grey Duck, who had an unfortunate ending to their season, although a very good team throughout the entire year. Just couldn't get it done at regionals this year.
So Klain, again, looks to break to O'Brien as their set play. They're finding success with that set play, but it's not really creating anything immediately after.
Yeah, you got it. I was going to say the same thing. They're getting that first breakthrough off, but they're pretty much stuck then right after that.
Zero dumping and swinging all the way across the field. Klain, smooth one to O'Brien. Still that vert stack. Talked a bit before about how looks like Zero's got 3 handlers back in that vert set. And here we see O'Brien finally break into that open space. Now Murray. Back to O'Brien, takes the handoff. Pick downfield, Klein holds on to it as Zero moves into their end zone set. So Zero will look to work primarily with their handlers, but so far tonight, that's been the forte of the NextGen defense. Tight pressure, making him work for every inch. So disc goes back to O'Brien. Klein forced up line. Jannon locking up on the open side, and we're going to force another tough throw. And the NextGen defense forces a cross-field blade from O'Brien.
That was,
McAdam, not able to hold on to it.
Yep, that's number 11. Oh, yeah. Still looked like it hit him both hands there, just maybe coming in a little too hot for him.
Give credit to the dump defenders, Trent Dillon and Jacob Jannon, for locking up. Trent Dillon's going to rip an inside-out backhand. Sion giving chase. Sion's going to bid and bring it down. Mitch Sion makes the play of the tour for himself. And a beautiful throw by Dillon to space.
There we see that huge inside-out backhand. And look at that one just kind of hang up there.
Sion turned on the Jets to bring that one down. And that's another break for the bus.
It's another fantastic throw. Dan McAdam giving all he's got there after that unfortunate drop in the end zone on the other side. Had to run the whole full length of the field to even get that close. But that was a nice defensive bid by him there. But an even nicer grab by the offense there for Bus. 6-2. Yeah, the past couple years when NextGen's come to town, it's kind of hasn't been too pretty with Subzero. You know, of course, it's still early on in the season for them. But, you know, I'm sure Subzero wants to make a better showing for the crowd tonight. Some people still filing in here. We have a pretty decent group of people coming out to watch tonight. Pretty much couldn't ask for a nicer evening. The weather's fantastic.
Yeah, we've really lucked out on tour. A lot of pretty sunsets as the backdrop. So here, Klein, that same look for the Zero handler set. Montague forces Klein to lose 10. There's that short little break throw, but no continuation for Zero once again.
Ooh,
and here Adams was turning downfield without looking it all the way into his hands.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because that was a big gainer. Kind of one of the first big gainer unders we've seen for Zero on the 4 side. But Adams coming off a nice year as well with Carleton. I believe he played on their O-line this year.
So Freechild knifes in and gets one from Clark, and now Morrissey tries to put one to Allison Hall, but Gill was there reading the mind of Morrissey. So you can see Klein really working hard to get open on Montague.
Yep, Evan being Josh's cousin, who Evan Klein played for Madison, Wisconsin there.
So now Gill upfield.
Nice poach deep there by the defense. Wide open, leaves it wide open around though.
So Samo looking downfield. O'Brien was part of that sockeye run early in the 2000s. And now has relocated here to the Minneapolis area, and I know Samo is very involved as a coach as well with a lot of these guys. Another guy who's been really involved in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area is Charlie Resnikoff, who's here tonight playing with Subzero. Actually coaches a lot of the guys on this team at Minnesota. So Zero on the end zone. They've had some trouble so far tonight finding the goal. And we see a no pivot around backhand from Klein. And Samo's going to fit one in here. This time Adams holds on. And it's been all break throws so far for Zero. Just a couple continuations on that open side. but they're working really hard for these goals.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Yeah, unfortunate early turnover, but Adams makes up for it there with a nice grab in the end zone. And you're right. It's basically running through the whole offense is kind of having to run through Josh Klain there. You can see that he's working really hard to get open on those dumps. Nice defense on the handlers once again from NextGen, but Josh coming off the college season and playing with the wind chill, so he's definitely got his legs under him, more so than some of these other guys probably. But very nice point for him there. He's throwing a lot of those high release flicks, which, you know, is getting pretty popular with the kids these days.
Well, if you got it, throw it. I think a lot of times with those quote-unquote difficult throws is for whatever reason, if your coach, if they can't throw that throw, they're going to tell you to not throw that throw.
Yeah, that's true.
And my opinion about it is don't teach anyone what a hard throw is or an easy throw. Just teach them all the throws. Give them every single tool. Let them decide when to use them. So Montague pulls out the wrong tool here, the outside-out forehand to Driscoll.
Yeah, that's his second inside-out forehand that's bladed out of bounds there. Good attempt there. Will Driscoll obviously with a nice height advantage, but that's number 0, Drew Mahold from University of Madison, ex-Hodag. He was all-region in 2008 as well, my old roommate.
So now Cheetah flips one downfield. Mahowald to Feldman. Feldman looks to the end zone. Marked by Neal. No options. Feldman's going to hang one up on the backside. And Jacob Janin and Cheetah both elevate to bring it down. Cheetah wins this one, but Janin was right there. Feldman's going to float one to the backside. Driscoll's going to look to go up, and he knocks it away. Will Driscoll, his second block of the night.
That was kind of a unforced throw there by Ben Feldman. Sometimes kind of gets end zone eyes there, and that time he definitely got a little too excited near the end zone. Unfortunate. Didn't need to throw that.
And now Erickson finds some space deep from Kearns. Erickson flips to Sion. Neal wide open in the back of the end zone. So Mitch Sion gets his first assist of the night and Neal his first goal. And the end zone offense from Subzero just not able to convert.
Yeah, they pretty much had it right where they wanted it. There was a chance for them to get a break on the board. Just kind of, I don't know, they forced that one. Feldman kind of having some issues with turnovers on the wind chill as well this summer. Obviously a great defender, great player, and he does have the throws. I think he just needs to kind of relax a little bit and kind of just take what's given to him. That time kind of looking to force the issue a little bit. Unfortunate for Zero. You know, they did well moving it all the way down to the end zone there, but, you know, nice D by Driscoll, and they, you know, NextGen is definitely connecting on these deep shots. It's pretty easy when the weather's like this. I mean, with the throwers that NextGen has, it's, you know, it's really tough to stop those deep looks.
NextGen's showing the full arsenal tonight. D's in the air, huge throws, and incredible defensive plays. That's what the NextGen Tour is all about. So Jimmy Mickle, inside out pull, brings it down. This is Klain with a really deep stack. And this time they break to a cutter rather than that first handler, and they actually gain about 10 more yards than they had on their original set plays. Now Garvey. Garvey looks early to O'Brien. Klain, O'Brien, Murray. And Moore finds space. Now Murray on the doorstep. Here's another chance at some end zone offense. So it'll be Freechild on the open side defending Garvey. Murray looking to the break side and is going to find Klain. Looks like had a little miscommunication there on defense. Maybe someone fell down and Klain found himself wide open in front of Murray.
Yeah, it almost looked like Dylan didn't realize where the front of the end zone was. Kind of just a little miscue, like you said, there on defense, but that was nice offense by Subzero. Worked it all the way down the field, got it near the end zone this time, and took the easy ones. Thankfully, they didn't force anything in there.
Yeah, Trent Dillon committed that cardinal sin on the end zone line, looked away at the moment when his cutter was changing direction, and Klain just stopped on a dime, and Dillon went 2 extra steps and left him wide open. So 7-4. Murray steps to the D-line.
Let's see, who we got out? So there's Tom Murray, Ben Feldman, James Adams, Logan Weiss, Charlie Resnikoff, and I believe that is Trent Cooper, his first year rookie on the team with the backwards yellow hat there out of Northern Iowa.
And we see a more poachy, junky look from Zero, poaching the lanes. But Sion's going to find us some space, and Sion's going to rip one deep. This is a tough matchup for Feldman. Driscoll's going to look to go up and elevate over Feldman. Driscoll takes down his second gigantic sky in the end zone. And a beautiful throw by Sion here, just throwing to a matchup. Feldman, nothing he could do. And Driscoll caps off an incredible first half for the Bus. They're up 8-4, and we'll be back for the second half. And welcome back on a beautiful evening in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. The Bus has jumped out to an 8-4 lead after one half. And it's been Will Driscoll all evening, making plays defensively, throwing hooks, getting big in the end zone, and talking to a lot of the guys on the Bus. I think they were waiting for something like that to happen for Will. Will's been very aggressive with his cutting this evening, as well as his throws, and here we see him going up. He had a mismatch, but he timed it perfectly and made that one look routine. And we've seen him do that a couple times on tour, and I think the Bus is now just going to start putting it in his direction. So Murray rips one deep. Mickle settles under it, centering to Freechild. And a flood play. The junk defense trying to slow things down for the Bus offense. This is Freechild now swinging to Mickle. Not a great amount of pressure put on by this defense. The goal here is just make them throw a lot of passes. Freechild giving and going with Hahn. And now Zero has dropped into man. This is Mickle cutting deep, and Camden Nelson Hall can't connect.
Just a little too much laser, a little too much oomph on that throw there. But Mickle did have a few steps on his defender and height as well. See there, just a little too far out in front of him there. Good luck, Charlie Resnikoff. Longtime Zero player, played for Surly for a year, decided to go back to Elite Open.
So Murray beats Morrissey underneath. And now the Zero offense working, a laser beam forehand. Has them now 20 yards out. Resnikoff settling things down, see if Resnikoff can orchestrate an end zone point. Here's Feldman just outside his end zone. He's going to drop the hammer over the top. And Feldman gives Zero their first break of the game. That's Drew Mahwald receiving.
Little Hodag glove there. Nice catch by Drew there on that huck. A little laser happy from Matt Young, but a nice adjustment from him. Nice read and grab. Feldman had that nice upline cut there, which led to that hammer throw for the goal. So that was once Subzero got the disc there on D, it was a nice offense for them, worked it all the way down the field, break side and foreside. So that's kind of what they needed there out of half. It's a great start for them. I believe that's 8-5 now, within 3.
So Zero breaks first here in the second half. Did a nice job containing the NextGen offense to a little bit of junk. Now Murray will pull again. Murray had a huge pull last time. This one's lower and flatter. Kearns is going to stand in the back of the end zone and center this one to Montague. Man-to-man from Subzero. And it's actually a junky look. Maybe man on the handlers, but some junk downfield. Now it looks like they're picking up man. That's going to leave Clark wide open, and Driscoll is going to go up easily. A walk in the park for Driscoll.
That was pretty easy for NextGen. A little too easy. It was another nice throw, and you know, when Will Driscoll's on someone, he's got, see, you can see there a big outside in backhand coming down just at the right amount of time, and Driscoll going up pretty easily there, uncontested. But looked like Driscoll, that was Grayson Pangburn with the defensive attempt there. He's a speedster out of Luther, but also giving up about 6 inches or more there on that one. Kind of makes it difficult to guard him in the air. Driscoll's having a pretty big game here. I know he's got at least 1 assist, had a huge huck. He's got about 3 or 4 goals now, I believe, so a nice game for him.
Assist, 3 goals, and 2 blocks so far for Driscoll. Monster game, and we're only 1 point deep in the second half. This NextGen D-line will come out fired up. Left to right, that's Clark, Dillon, Erickson, Freechild, Jannon, Morrissey, and Kearns, as Clark will rip one. Nice high, floaty inside out backhand. Cheetah is settling under it, looking to get it to Klain. It looks like Klain's just going to pick this one up. Marked by Morrissey. Seen a lot of break throws out of the set plays. Looks like there's a call in the middle of the stack. Jannon talking things over with Feldman.
I don't know what was called there, what could have it been called, but worked.
Feldman will take his space on the break side. Klain's going to break backhand to Feldman. Feldman's going to rip one deep. Might have thrown that one before Aronson could take off, and pretty nice throw, but the timing not quite right between Feldman and Aronson. So the bus will have another look at a break.
Interesting to note here, there are 4 Hopkins players from Hopkins High School out on the field right now for Subzero on offense. There's Ben Feldman, number 2, Josh Klain, number 10, Pat Jensen, number 88, and then Greg Aronson, number 9 there. All played at Hopkins, who's known to have a great ultimate program.
Freechild breaks to Clark. Clark scuba to Dillon. And Dillon takes off deep. Trent Dillon is going to find a bunch of space underneath. Tough bladey throw from Freechild. But now Dillon's going to put it up for Freechild. Cheetah giving chase. Dillon, Freechild will try to toe the line, but just out of bounds as Trent Dillon gets a little excited on the throw here and lofts it out of bounds. Freechild did everything he could to keep that one in bounds. Not quite.
Not quite. Good attempt there. Good look. There's an open side cut downfield.
Now Klain on the open side.
Uh-oh.
Klain's going to swing to Cheetah. Minnesota teammates connecting for a few passes in a row. That's an ex-Minnesota teammate, Kyle Gill, who threw it back to Cheetah. And now Erickson's going to have Freechild wide open in the end zone. And Freechild waits for it, goal.
A little showboating there, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, and you can see there, and Cheetah doesn't really stand a chance on that one. It's quick transition, nice throw deep to Freechild there for the easy goal. And NextGen just need to wait for it to fall all the way down there before he grabs it. And then, of course, the assisted head spike there. That's what you want to see. And that last point as well, there were 4 Minnesota Grey Duck players on the field as well. Hopkins and Minnesota, you can see that this team for Subzero is very centrally, oriented. There's a lot of players from Minnesota, mostly Minnesota, I would say, and then, of course, some Wisconsin players as well. But it's surprising that there's, not more people from out of state on this team, but it just goes to show that a lot of people who come here stay here.
Also interesting, I think, to talk about the high school Minnesota players that we see on this team. Most of these guys are 6 foot or below. Most of them are shorter players, and it's an interesting trend that we've been seeing as more and more high school players break into the college scene. Most of them are people who didn't do maybe the other big-time sports in their school, and that's in contrast with guys like Will Driscoll. Didn't play Ultimate in high school, but was a great basketball player, and he brings that skill set. And I think it's those guys that actually didn't play much in high school that have a bigger chance for greater success. This will be Sam O'Brien throwing to Kyle Gill. A couple veterans connecting, and Gill backflips. Woo!
Showing off his athleticism there. Kyle's been known in the North Central or Central Ultimate scene for quite a long time now.
I actually played against Kyle Gill back in 2003, 4, and 5 when he was just starting with Minnesota. One of the great guys in this community. Been around forever. Great teammate.
Yeah, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Back when I first started out playing Ultimate, first time ever at Nationals, Kyle Gill basically saved my life one night on the Saturday night of Nationals. So he's a great guy. Like I said, he's been known in the Central Ultimate scene for a long time now, and he's still as athletic as day one. But a lot of people don't know, Kyle Gill used to be a competitive figure skater back in the day. True. Athleticism right there.
Saw a little bit of that.
Yeah.
He gets upside down in the air. Great body control from Gill.
The more you know.
All right, monitor's back. We're good to go. Oh, fuck.
So Zero pulls to the bus. Montague looking at a vert stack this time. Flood play is going to leave Mickle wide open. Mickle's got Clark streaking deep, and Mickle is going to drop another perfect throw on Zero. Jimmy Mickle lights it up deep to Clark.
And another perfect throw. Not much you can do there on the defense. Drew's trailing a little bit on that one, but, like I said before, you can't really guard a perfect throw. There's nothing you can really do there. Put it perfectly out into space and just let his receiver run onto that one. It was a great throw. We've seen that all night here. Looks like NextGen is definitely hucking it more than they have been in the past. Is that right, Mario?
Yeah, the bus has really opened it up, and I don't know if it's the weather. I think it's that combined with the fact that they felt they were too handler dominated in the last game. They've really made a concerted effort to air it out today. And there we saw Jimmy Mickle doing it perfectly. Jimmy Mickle is a guy, speaking of high school Ultimate player, so he did play in high school, but the difference between, I think, Mickle and a lot of the players that we're seeing come up through the college ranks is he's just a big guy. He could have been an athlete in probably any sport at his high school. It just so happened that he got really into Ultimate, and I think that's what's really going to give him to excel at the highest level in Elite Ultimate. So now Murray to Klein. Nice battle downfield in front of the stack between Cheetah and Freechild. This is Klein. Past a bidding Morrissey. Klein's going to air this one out. Driscoll down there, and Driscoll's going to elevate and knock another one away from the Subzero offense. Driscoll cleaning up the stats with his 3rd block of the evening.
It looks like Josh just got a little too much I.O. on that one, popped it up in the air. Kind of an awkward read there by Pat Jensen, but a nice D by Will Driscoll there, nice block.
Driscoll also got bounced as he was going up. So Driscoll doing it all so far tonight. That was Trent Dillon coming out of the stack first. Pit called. He's marked by Gill. Janin. Throws one just out of bounds. He was looking for Erickson on that break forehand. Tried to hit a real tight window. This will be Klein picking up for 0. Klein marked by Morrissey. Reznikov is going to blade a forehand.
There's Pat Jensen coming down with a nice snag. Kind of taking a little aggression out probably from that last play. I'm sure he was upset with himself, knowing Pat. And Spike's there with a little authority. Yeah, nice snag there. But Charlie Reznikov definitely is known for his hammers. He loves throwing those. He's pretty good at it. In that point, you could see there were 5 Minnesota players, counting Charlie Reznikov, who is their coach right now. Nice point there. Zero gets it back, puts it in off of an unfortunate turnover there by NextGen. But we see their offense coming out here. Score 11-7. And Subzero is going to need to go on a little bit of a tear here on the defensive line if they want to get back in this game.
This is the situation very similar to last night in Madison. The Bus had a comfortable lead about midway through the second half, and they took their foot off the gas just for a second. We saw a couple casual throws to the end zone, a little miscommunication. And that allowed Madison to just hang around. And when it got to crunch time, the Bus a little bit gassed, had some uncharacteristic turnovers, and Madison was right there to clean it up. They eventually chipped away at that lead. NextGen gave away a number of possessions on game point, and eventually Madison took away a win. We'll see if the Bus can maintain concentration and punch this one in. Seen a lot of flood play from the Bus. You're going to see the stack, probably everybody moving. This one's just going to be Hahn isolated. So Hahn isolated, and they sent Camden Allison Hall deep off the backside. Here's Mickle. Multiple deep cuts. Looks him off and finds Allison Hall underneath. Allison Hall is going to float to the backfield for Montague. Morrissey. Freechild breaks to Allison Hall. And Mickle is going to be uncovered in the back corner of the end zone. NextGen switches the field well, causes confusion on the mark.
Yeah, I think that was, I think the defender might have switched the mark there. It looked like they were forcing backhand that whole time. And nice when he gets that flick throw to space and the receiver's on the other side of him. It's, you know, nothing you can do there. Perfect throw to the end zone. Goal from Mickle. Oh, big smile there from Jimmy. Sun's just kind of starting to duck below the trees back there. Still plenty of light. Weather is perfect. Probably dropped down into the 70s a little bit now. It was a hot day here in Minnesota, humid. Kind of been getting that weather a lot here in Minnesota, and that's what we get for most of the summer. Very humid and kind of sticky almost, but you know, these guys are used to it probably. How was the weather last night in Madison, by the way?
It was hot and sticky.
Yeah. All right, Midwest. There you go.
Yeah, mostly on the East Coast, we got a lot of humidity. Hasn't rained too much during any of the games, but the humidity has certainly been there.
Mm-hmm.
But today was a really perfect day driving through Wisconsin. So here's Klein. Stack a little too deep. Saw Klein winding up for that one. Now Samo. Samo's going to find Gill underneath. Gill back to Samo. Lots of clogging in the backfield. Samo's going to rip this one up. Nice grab by Tom T. Murray. Now back to Klein. Klein looking far side. Looked off an open Gill in the back corner. And now Klein's going to float up the hammer. Will this one stay in bounds? Yes.
And another one-handed hammer grab by Pat Jensen there in the end zone. See the big outside-in flick from Sam O'Brien there. Kind of misread a little bit there by the defender, but nice pull down by Murray. Then an easy over-the-top hammer. Paco toes the line there for the Subzero goal. So there's a nice offense there by Zero. You can see that they're kind of settling down a little bit as this game kind of gets going here. Had some unfortunate turnovers in the first half, especially near the end zone line, where they had some nice offense working it all the way down the field. Just kind of when they got near the end zone, panicked a little bit. I don't know if they forced it in or if NextGen's legs were just a little fresher earlier on as well. But Zero's starting to calm down on offense and working it all the way in. But they're going to need a big D point here. I believe that is Drew Mahold with the disc. Yep, that's Drew there with the pull. Big outside in. Looks like that one's clearly out of bounds. So NextGen will get it at the brick mark here.
Seen a lot of different looks from the bus out of their set plays. Going side stack. Seen some vert stack plays. This one's going to be a spread, horizontal. Freechild and Janin in the middle. Looks like they're going to clear deep. Aaron Neal creeping on the backside, but this is a junk set from Subzero. Mickle looking over the top in the middle. So far the bus not swinging the disc to the sideline, really moving the defense at all. Now they get it to the sideline and gain some yards. Janin saves one, toes the line. Couple offensive players open on the near side here, but Mickle's going to go back to Janin. Janin, the easy over, kneeling grab by Freechild. And Zero's talking downfield. Looks like they're going to try to settle into man. But this is where the NextGen is difficult. Throwing and going, slicing and dicing and hugging in the end zone. Freechild.
Man, that was pretty once they got it through the huddle. Who is it there that got Morrissey there? Went up for the body, got a little toss there by his teammate.
I'll tell you, you don't want to guard these guys in transition. They are so tough. They love to throw and go. And maybe as much as they love to throw and go, they love to celebrate after they score.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you can see Simon with the nice upline throw to Dylan, and Dylan and Mickle just play catch down the field all the way for the nice easy through goal there from Mickle to Morrissey. And Morrissey got put on a stale by his teammate there. I think these guys would do well in the NFL on their end zone celebrations. Well, at least the old NFL, when you wouldn't get fined for it.
Tell you what, Spike is out.
Spike is out.
Dance moves, combination moves are in.
Well, NextGen is good at it. I can see that. If there's somebody on the team I can't see necessarily cutting a rug, that'd be Will Driscoll. So I'd like to see him kind of get some dance moves out there.
Sounds like a challenge, Becky.
I'd like to see it. Maybe we can get someone to relay that challenge down to him.
So Cheetah breaks the mark to Klain. Samo on the far side. Couple throw and goes. And now Zero slicing and dicing here on this O point. Cheetah finds Murray underneath. Murray looking to reset. Looks off Klain. And now Murray's got to blast the end zone. Driscoll's going to come in from the backside, but Kyle Gill, ladies and gentlemen.
Kyle Gill showing off his athleticism there. I thought that was a nice throw by Murray. I thought it might have been a little too far at first. We see it there. He puts it up, but looks like that one came down just perfectly at the back of the end zone. Driscoll tried his best to close on that one late, but Kyle went up at the right time and got it at its peak. Nice grab by him there for the goal.
Nice grab by Kyle, but, you know, you want to truly evaluate that O point. That's not the look that Zero was looking for. It was more handler shutdown D that forced that high stall count throw. Nice play by Gill, nice throw by Murray, but when they look at this one, they're going to think, how can we solve these little problems that are going to, at the highest levels, at the tournaments they really want to win, they're going to need easier decisions than that one.
Yeah, I can't put up those kind of 50-50 balls in the back. Yeah, you're right. And that stems back to the first half troubles near the end zone. Kind of seen it again there. NextGen locking down on the handler defense around the end zone, making it tough for Murray to break around and then get the wide open dump. So you can see there Josh Klain kind of got shut down on that first handler cut, resulting in the high stall, and obviously that put to the end zone there.
So now Mickle. Man-to-man from Subzero, and Janin finds space underneath. Janin's going to shoot one deep, and this one's going to pop up, and Allison Hall. Looks like he got clobbered on that second effort, but Camden Allison Hall is going to wave off that foul call. We're going to see him take some contact after the double D.
Yeah, it looked like James Adams there got a hand on that disc first and came through and kind of got him in the head. But no call by Camden. See here, Danny Meeson picking up.
He's got a man deep. Hahn's going to try to close the gap, and Aaron Hahn can't make the play. And this will be Grayson Pangburn bringing down a goal for 0.
That was a great catch by Matt Young there, former Hodag. Nice throw by Danny Meeson. Had a few yards there, but Hahn was willing to give that up, and you can see that was a great timing on that jump there from Young, just to kind of snag that over Hahn. I'm assuming that Hahn kind of wanted that deep throw to go up there. He obviously had a height mismatch. Good attempt there, but that was a really nice grab there by Matt Young.
Really impressive catch by Young, and that's actually something that some of us have been talking to Aaron about. You know, he rarely loses one of those matchups in the air. We've been talking about him challenging himself more, maybe allowing some of those throws to go up so he can make a play. Of course, he's going to be disappointed after that one, but that was really a spectacular offensive play.
Yeah, that was a really nice grab by Young. Nice throw by Meeson. We'll see here Harper Garvey, going to be a sophomore next year at Knox College with the big outside in backhand pull. And NextGen will start it out on offense here.
Montague, backpedaling for lots of yards, is going to hit Clark underneath. Spread from the bus. Driscoll, lots of room underneath. You see Zero really starting to respect Driscoll. You can see he's backed by 5 to 10 yards here. See if he can take advantage. This is Neal. Neal's going to dump to Driscoll.
So I see now that Matt Young had that nice sky there. Hahn, he's the one who's guarding Driscoll. Make him feel like a big guy here, I guess.
Nickel loops one to Montague. And another big loss here from the bus. Stack really deep.
Sideline's finally starting to kind of talk a little bit for Zero's defense. You can see they're kind of getting into the game a little more.
This would be a great time to call timeout if you're the bus. Nickel saves one. Definitely timeout territory. No reason not to, but Neal's going to rip it deep. He's got Montague. Murray giving chase, but Aaron Neal releases the pressure and gives NextGen their first game point.
Yeah, that was another great deep look there by NextGen. Montague obviously coming off a fantastic year with Carleton, first team all-region, and he's just got the wheels for days. He's a very wily, scrappy player. Loves to throw and go. I'm sure you've seen a lot of that on tour. He gets a lot of touches on the disc, but he will release downfield. I believe he cut most of the season for college in Carleton. And he is, willing to share the disc and then move. And, you got to respect a guy like that who's willing to work and give his teammates the disc and not just kind of look for the throws himself. So I love personally watching Montague play. He's a great player who's also on that under-23 Worlds team this year. But a nice goal for him and a nice point. We've got Dylan Freechild here with the big IO backhand pull. Kind of shelving it up there, sitting down nicely, with Jason Cheetah retreating back there to grab it and center it to Josh Klain.
So the Zero offense out of a vertical. Now finding some space on the open side. This is Gill beating Allison Hall on the open side. And here's that dump swing that they'll try to work for some break side yards. Nice around break from Klain. Here we see some nice continuation from Zero. See if they can punch it in once they get to the red zone. Klain resets to O'Brien. Klain throws and goes, marked by Morrissey. Freechild trying to trap on the end zone. And Klain, visionary backhand, finds his receiver, and that's an easy O point for Zero. And this time they get into the red zone and they punch it in.
Yeah, you can see here is a nice little soft IO backhand from Danny Meeson, the lefty, and Josh Klain with the great vision there to get him right back on that give and go. And these two obviously have years playing together as well, both on Subzero and on Minnesota Grey Duck. And kind of a cheeky little backhand toss there out to space by Josh. Great cut by Danny. You can see the poacher just was a little late on that one, but that was perfect. Perfect offense there by Zero. So we're going to cut out here for a commercial break, and we'll be back in just a second here at NextGen in St. Louis Park, Minnesota.
And we're back as Reznikov goes with the forehand roller. He's going to roll this one out at about midfield. Looks like Zero is going to try to put on some pressure, try to force a tough decision or a tough throw. This will be Feldman on the mark. Feldman marking Mickle. But Mickle resets. Morrissey. Excuse me, that was Kearns finding Clark. Clark now on the far sideline. This is Driscoll underneath. Driscoll to Montague. Montague, nice IO break to Clark. Clark over the top to Driscoll. Driscoll to Kearns. Bunched up stack there for the bus. Now Montague comes open. He's going to float that one to Driscoll. And Reznikov's going to call either a pick or a foul. So Driscoll on the doorstep. Kearns, nice and easy. Kearns is going to slice this one to the backside. But the Zero defender, Trent Cooper, young player making a big play in a big moment.
That was a fantastic layout D there, yep. Looks for that IO backhand throw into space, but just close enough. Wow, man, you can see him just extend there and kind of float in the air. Barely got a fingertip on that.
Now Feldman's going to send one deep to Moore. Nice boxing out by Moore, and Feldman is going to connect. So the bus had a chance to put it away, and now Zero, some room to breathe here.
Yeah, I mean, that's that's exactly what Zero kind of needed here at the end of this game. A fantastic layout D. I was going to say, I don't think we've seen one from them all game. And then Feldman immediately picking up, getting the swing around in the end zone and just rifling a huge backhand deep to Andrew Moore. So that was a huge play by two rookies on Subzero this year. First, Trent Cooper with the nice layout block, and then Moore there with the goal.
Moore actually did a really nice job. When that throw went up, a lot of times your initial reaction is just to get sprinting, and that time he actually slowed down and maintained his position on Mitch Sion and then re-accelerated to create separation. I want to send a shout out to our sponsors. Thank you to everyone at Elemental Technologies, bringing you these crystal clear, high def pictures that you're seeing here tonight. We'll be back in Portland. Say hi to those guys in about 3 days. So Montague now to Neal. The Zero defense is amped. Neal wanted the big one to Dylan, and now Montague has it. Montague to Freechild. Freechild's going to shoot deep. This one's hanging. Morrissey in the area. Morrissey's going to go up, and this one is swatted out of bounds by Danny Mason.
Zero turning up the heat a little here at the end of the game. You can see he just got a little too much float on that one. Mason bodies him up nicely and goes up big for the great Sky D there. Zero kind of turning up the intensity a little bit here at the end of the game. Too bad that they didn't have this kind of fired up a little earlier, but we're finally seeing them get some nice Ds and converting on the offense here as well.
So the sun has set now. Things getting a little chilly here for Subzero. Now Murray. And we see that three-handler set in a vertical offense. Not going to be a lot of break lanes if you've got that. Now Feldman, eyes for the end zone. He's going to launch one. He's got a man. Hahn giving chase. Not quite in. And this one's going to be floated into the end zone, and Zero is right back in it. 14-13. And the bus may have thought that this one was over, Now a timeout is called, and a beautiful throw by Feldman, being very aggressive. And Matt Young comes down with it. Great patience by Young. A lot of players like to call timeout, and he did a great job keeping his advantage. We'll be back in just a second to see if Zero can complete this comeback. Welcome back to St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Zero showing some life here late, throwing out a really important D-line to try to complete this comeback. They're down just one, 14-13.
Yep, and you can see there Subzero is picking up the intensity here finally at the end of the game, getting some nice Ds and converting once they get the disc back there. So on the Zero line there from left to right, we see number 1, we see Danny Meeson. Number 2 in the line is Grayson Pangburn. Number 3 is Andrew Moore. 4 is James Adams. 5, I believe, is Logan Weiss. 6 there is Trent Cooper, and 7 is Pat Paco Jensen. So we got 3 rookies out there right now for Subzero. This is a great experience for them. Big time moment at the end of the game. So we can see if they can come up here and get a break to tie it all up at 14s.
This will be Kearns bringing it down to Montague. Flood play leaves Driscoll open underneath. Driscoll's done it all night, and he's going to try to do it again. He's sending it deep to Mickle, and this will be just not in. So Mickle will be on the doorstep trying to punch it in. Getting hugged on the mark, he's going to find Kearns. And Kearns finds the man of the game, Will Driscoll, for the final goal. Driscoll, 4 goals, 3 Ds, couple assists as well. Driscoll did it all, even on this final point. Nice job there, pursuing it by Mickle. So Zero can't quite make it back in this one.
Yep, just couldn't quite finish up the comeback there, but overall, a great game from both teams. NextGen started out strong. Subzero made a great comeback here in the second half. It was a fun game to watch, perfect weather. Overall, you couldn't have asked for a better night and better game.
So looking forward a bit here, the bus will move on to the West Coast to play Rhino, Furious, and Sockeye. We won't have a game for you until Saturday. I want to say thanks to our crowd for coming out. Thanks to the entire NextGen staff, Ian Lunger, Adam Bilbino, Kimber Coles and Vin Bowie on the 1s and 2s, making the magic happen. Kevin Minderhout, the NextGen Sensei, Mastermind, and I am Mario O'Brien here with Becky. Thanks for coming tonight. Enjoy the rest of your summer. We'll see you on Saturday against Rhino.